House Republicans unveiling a new plan to lock in cuts to individual tax rates, which right now are scheduled to expire in 2025. With all the details is our own Susan Lee, who joins me right now.
Yeah,
and I love hearing this.
So tax reform 2.0, and this is something that President Trump told us on Fox Business that he was going to unveil in the fall. So here we are in September, and we're looking for this. And Kevin Brady of the House Ways and Means Committee says that this could be rolled out maybe 2-3 tax changes at a time, not all in one package. So what is tax reform 2.0? Well, as you mentioned, it's to lock in those middle-class tax cuts that do expire after 10 years, that $1.5 trillion tax package. Also, it's to encourage more saving for 401ks. You know, 20% of Americans don't have anything saved for retirement and in their retirement funds. So that's something they want to encourage as well. And guess what, Trish? They might even want to cut the corporate tax rate 1% more to 20% in the future.
Wow. Stay with me, Susan.
Yep.
I want to bring also into the conversation, we have the Wall Street Journal's very own Jon Hilsenrath. Jon, when you hear sort of what this, we don't know the concrete details here, but when you hear about it, do you think that everyone is going to get a tax cut in this, or is this directed specifically only towards the middle class?
Frankly, I think no one is going to get anything out of this because the House is moving forward with it, but the Senate would need to come up with 60 votes to pass it into law. And they don't have those 60 votes at this point. You know, it would be very difficult, I think, to get Democrats.
Could midterms help or change that?
I'm sorry, I didn't catch that.
Could midterms perhaps change that?
Well, it doesn't look like you're going to get Democrats to go along. So you would have to have 60. You would have to turn 9 more seats over to the Republican Party in the Senate in these midterms. So, you know, I think it's going to be really hard to make this law. I mean, what happened last time with the Bush tax cuts of 2001 was it didn't happen until the last minute that they were extended. And when they were extended, it only went to the middle class. So I think at some point we ought to see the middle class getting their tax cuts extended. But I don't think that'll happen until 2025.
Oh. Okay, well, that's a Debbie Downer.
Sorry about that.
So you got some holdouts there that are going to make it difficult in the Senate. But Susan Lee, from a political perspective, as we head into midterms right now, do you anticipate Republicans making a big deal of this? Because let's not forget, part of the success of our economy right now is the fact that we got the corporate tax cut,
Absolutely right.
And none of the Democrats, not one, voted for it.
Well, you're absolutely right with the strength of the economy, because today we had job opening figures as well for July. 6.9 million jobs available out there. That's more than those that are unemployed. 4% GDP, that's the growth rate that we're at. So, yes, a lot of that does go back to consumer having more in their pockets, spending now at a lot of these retailers, right? Consumer confidence at 18-year highs. So I would argue,
and I would trace that back to corporate tax cuts.
Yeah, corporate tax, personal tax cuts.
Which the Democrats, kicked and screamed about forever. So from a political perspective here, going into midterms, is this something that they could really push, that they could really sell, do you think, Jon Hilsenrath, given that people like what they've seen so far?
I do think this is a really big issue in the midterms, and it's an opportunity for Republicans and Democrats to define themselves against each other. I think a lot of Republicans are going to use this as a debate and discussion point, particularly in these House elections where the House could turn over. You know, Republicans are going to say, look, we passed these tax cuts. The economy is doing great. We deserve credit for that. And, you should keep us in office. And Democrats are going to, say what you would expect, which is that they're mostly for they're mostly for the wealthy. You could argue for or against that.
But I want to go down that path for just a minute here, because that irritates me. It really irritates me when you have all of these leftists out saying, oh, this is nothing but a plan for the wealthy, and tax cuts have done nothing but benefit wealthy individuals and corporations. What are they forgetting in all of this? I mean, after all, shouldn't the people or the corporations that actually pay the tax be the ones to get the tax cut? Jon, half the country doesn't even pay any federal income tax.
Well, the best argument for Republicans against this point is that we have a 3.9% unemployment rate. So, the economy is doing well, and you can make an argument that lower corporate rates increase businesses' incentives to invest and hire, and that there are secondary effects from these tax cuts that are really helpful. You know, it is the case that the U.S. corporate tax rate was much higher than corporate tax rates elsewhere in the world, and that put us at a competitive disadvantage. And I think that's part of the argument that you'll hear in these midterms. And again, it's what the two sides are going to use to define themselves against each other. So while I don't think that these things, that an extension of the individual tax cuts become law right away, it becomes part of the dialogue and the debate that defines how the people go to the polls.
Socialism, basically, you know, and the socialist direction of the Democratic Party versus capitalism, which has been the foundation of this country and what has enabled us to be as successful as we have been. You know, you mentioned that you could make the argument that the tax cuts, corporate tax cuts, have worked. Don't tell President Obama that, though, Susan. I mean, we heard from him just on Friday as he campaigned in California, saying the success that you're seeing in this economy right now, well, it's all, lo and behold, because of him and his policies.
Started in 2009, and he says that the unemployment market or the jobs market is as good as it was in 2015. But, you know, as I mentioned, 6.9 million job openings in July. That's incredible at this point. And we did some analysis. Wage increases are higher in the 18 months since Trump took office. Also, GDP rates are also higher in Trump's first 18 months than they were during at least the first term. At least the first term of Obama's in office, because, you know, we do have to take into effect, and I just want to caveat this, and to be fair, they did come off the global financial crisis, right, 2009, 2010. However, his second term, still not as good in terms of GDP growth
because
as they
his policies were all
under
wrong.
Trump.
He stood up there and said, you know, you didn't create that, basically. Business was bad. And he wanted to penalize business. Business owners understood that. They knew that. And so what did they do? They didn't invest. So you had bad psychology from the business community and a lack of confidence. You couple that with lots of regulations and higher taxes, and you get a recipe for an economy that's going nowhere, except for, thank goodness, the Federal Reserve, which was the only game in town, as Jon Hilsenrath knows all so well. I do have to leave it there anyway. Susan, John, good to see you guys. Thank you so much.